Sometimes Forex trading is a wild and woolly place to be. That's why Hugh's here, to pose your questions to Walter, the naked Forex guy. Hugh's got questions, and Walter's got the answers. Here at the Truth About FX podcast.
Hey Walter, when I'm first learning to trade, should I stick to just one system or should I try multiple systems at the same time?
I'm a big fan of trying to just get one thing down. And you can always add more systems later, but here's the problem. If you're trying to trade 5 systems at once or even 3, let's say you've got 3 systems and you really like them and you want to trade them. The problem with that is that if you're beginning as a trader, you're just starting out, you're less likely to stick with all of them. You're probably going to rotate them in and out, and you're probably going to get frustrated with 1 or 2 of them, and you're never really going to become an expert. So my approach is, look, decide what makes sense to you. Go with the best system you can come up with. Become an expert at that, and then later on, once you're really bored with that system, you can add more. That's what I would say. I would just do that. Try and work really hard at getting good at that. And you can always add more markets. So let's say you're trading a system on the euro and it goes really well. Well, then add the pound and the Swissy and the Aussie and add a bunch of other currency pairs on there and see if you can multiply your opportunities that way. And then later on, after you've been trading that system for 2-3 years, then maybe it's time to look at adding a new one. And, in the background, you can still be testing your other systems, your potential systems of the future, to add to your portfolio. But really, in the beginning, I strongly believe you should start to really kind of hone in on one thing. Otherwise, it's just too easy to throw things away because the systems are too cheap. But if you invest a lot in a system, it's going to be more difficult for you to throw it away. So I would definitely try and stick to one system, then slowly add more markets, and then from there, you can add more systems. That's what I would do.
Oh, I see. That makes a lot of sense. What happens if, let's say that somebody finds a system, they think it's really good because the trader who's trading it is making a lot of money, but the system doesn't fit their personality? Let's say, like we just talked about scalping in the last episode, but maybe it's a scalping strategy and they're no good at scalping. They obviously wouldn't continue with that, but at what point would you say, okay, I need to go to something else? Yeah.
Well, I think you nailed it, Hugh. That comes with knowing who you are as a trader. So I'll give you an example. So David Franklin, who does the that scalping system, where we have these free webinars for people that are interested in that. I can put a link at the bottom of this episode. I don't know if he'll still be doing them, but you can click the link at the show notes because we have these webinars with David. And one thing I would say is, I recognize that David's a really good trader, and I recognize that he does really well at scalping, but I also understand that I don't want to do that, and I'm not good at that. That's not really my thing. So what I've done is I've taken one of David's core setups, and I've been testing it on the daily charts. Now, David trades it on the 5-minute charts, right? So that's one way, and it works really well, and he even suggested, he said, look, you'll probably find that it has a higher win rate, and it does so far. It's really early days. I'm just back testing it in Forex Tester right now, but it's pretty awesome that I'm able to take this 5-minute chart system that he trades and I'm able to see really solid results on the daily chart. So that's something that I would encourage you to do. Like when I first started trading, my trading mentor, he was a lower time frame trader too. And I recognized straight away that I didn't want to be looking at the 5-minute charts. I wanted to look at the 1 hour, the 4 hour, the daily charts. Those are the ones that I wanted to pay attention to. So I kind of drifted away from his style as well. And so that might be what you might do. You might sort of adjust it that way. So time frame is one way to do it. The other way that sometimes makes sense is exit. So if someone trades a system and you like it, but you don't really like the way that he or she gets out of the trades, you could add some different exit strategy, like a trailing exit or something like that. I'll give you an example of that one. So another trader I know, he had this system that was widely known. It's a breakout system, and I think it made something like 50% a year, okay, on average over the last 10 years, right? Simply by changing the exit, okay, and making the exit a little bit more, it's able to capture real strong runners. He was able to increase it by like 6-fold.
Wow.
So and so now he also added an element of discretion, so that shouldn't be underrated either. So originally the system could have been traded as an EA and it would have been okay, but he added an element of discretion where there were days that he just wouldn't take it and he would just say no trade today because this, the market looks like it's up against resistance or support or something like that, and he would just say, no, I'm not going to take it. So that, that's part of it too, and it's not just the exit that was responsible for that, but it was a pretty eye-popping result to see this pretty good system really look really good as soon as he started looking at adding more alpha by allowing the trade to run. So those are the two areas that I would probably first focus on if you can. If you got some logic that you like and you're into that system that someone's teaching, you can trade the time frames out and change those around, and then you can also change the exit. And those are probably the two easiest ways to change how it fits your personality, I suppose.
Okay, well, that's awesome advice. Thanks, Walter.
Thank you.